What's up guys, welcome back to this Rise and Fall Renault series. Today we are going to moving on to part 2, so if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you watch it first. Link in the description by the way. For this part of the series, it will take us through 2002-2010 and the success of Renault's engines just after they left the sport. So without further ado, let's get into the video. On the 16th of March 2000, Renault purchased Benetton Formula Limited for $120 million to return to Formula 1. Renault continued to use the Benetton constructor name for the 2000 and 2001 season. In 2002, they finally changed their name to Renault F1 team and had drivers Jenson Button and John O'Trulli. Their best finish that season was 4th, with the drivers getting 2 each and the team finishing on 23 points, coming 4th in the Constructors' Championship. Despite outscoring his teammate in 2002, Jenson Button was dropped by Renault in 2003. He was replaced by a well-known Spanish driver, Fernando Alonso, who was only 21 at the time. Alonso went on to win the Hungarian Grand Prix and became the youngest driver in the sport to do so, and it was Renault's first win since Austria in 1983. Renault finished 4th again, but had 88 points this time, Alonso racking up 55 of them and Trulli finishing on 33. The 2004 season was a breakthrough season for Renault, with Trulli finally winning his first race in Monaco, but his relationship with Renault deteriorated after consistently being off the pace in later half of the season, and made claims of favouritism towards Alonso. He subsequently joined Toyota for the 2005 season, even leaving Renault early to drive the last 2 races for Toyota. Renault then replaced Trulli with 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve for the final 3 races. However, Villeneuve, away from F1 racing for a full season, struggled, and Renault ended up slipping up and handed second place to BAR Honda. They finished on 105 points. Alonso came 4th, also with 59 points, Villeneuve with 0, and Trulli scored 46. Giancarlo Fisichella was Trulli's replacement for the 2005 season. He took advantage of a rain-affected qualifying session to win the first race in Australia. Fernando Alonso then went on to win the 3 next races to build a decent lead in the Drivers' Championship and therefore building one up in the Constructors' Championship for Renault. Fisichella had a few DNFs and therefore McLaren started to catch them in the Constructors and eventually took them over at the Brazilian Grand Prix. But unfortunately for Kimi Räikkönen, that would be the race Alonso secured the driver's title, finishing 3rd that race. Then Renault finally secured their first constructors title at China, with Alonso winning the race, and McLaren driver Juan Pablo Montoya's car was badly damaged, resulting in no points for him. Alonso finished that season on 133 points and Fisichella on 58. Renault finished 9 points clear of second place McLaren. Both drivers were retained for the 2006 season. Alonso won the opening race in Bahrain as well as winning in Australia and came 2nd behind Fisichella in Malaysia. More wins in Spain and Monaco for Alonso increased his lead at the top of the drivers' standings. Ferrari and Schumacher were not able to catch up with Renault in the end, as they once again took the Constructors' and Drivers' Championships with a couple of races to spare. Alonso then left for McLaren after the 2006 season and was replaced by Heikki Kovalainen, and Fisichella stayed on as the other driver. This 2007 season would also be the season that Renault would start supplying engines to Red Bull. Renault struggled in the opening race in Australia, with Fisichella finishing 5th and rookie Kovalainen 10th. Things did not improve much either for the French team, not even a single podium for the defending champions. Although they finished 3rd because of McLaren's scandal, they still came 50 points behind second place Sauber and a further 153 points off top dog Ferrari. Alonso, however, then came back for a second stint after a controversial season with McLaren, and Nelson Piquet Jr. would be promoted from test driver into the Renault drivers lineup. The opening race in Australia saw Alonso take a solid 4th place. Renault would finally catch a break, with Piquet finishing on the podium at the German Grand Prix. Alonso then grabbed his first win back at Renault in Singapore, due to a crash that his teammate suffered earlier on in the race. This would become one of the most controversial crashes in F1 history. After Piquet was fired after the 2009 Hungarian Grand Prix, he told the media that Renault instructed him to crash on the 14th lap in the 17th corner. This would result, in my opinion, one of the reasons Renault left the sport after the 2010 season. Alonso then made it back-to-back wins in Japan, this time winning without any controversial tactics. Renault came fourth again in 2008 on 80 points, with Alonso getting 61 of them and Piquet only getting 19. Renault entered the 2009 season thinking they would challenge for both titles, but Alonso only managed 4-point finishes in the first 6 races. It got better with a pole in Hungary, but Alonso had to retire. As I said earlier, Piquet got replaced because of his poor performances, scoring no points in the first half of the season. He was replaced by young Romain Grosjean. Renault fell to 8th place on 26 points, all scored by Alonso. It was a shock season in all the bad ways for Renault, and you could tell Alonso had enough. At this point also, their engine buyer, Red Bull, had come second and looked like a front-running team. Renault had a brand new driver lineup in Robert Kubica and Russian Vitaly Petrov. Renault also sold a majority share to Genie Capital, a Luxembourg-based investment company. A poor opening race into Bahrain with Petrov retiring and Kubica finishing 11th, but the race after, Kubica got a shock podium in Australia, taking 2nd place. It wasn't actually a bad season for Renault, finishing 5th this time, and if Kubica had a better teammate, then maybe could have got better. Kubica came 8th on 136 points, and Petrov got a disappointing 27 points that season. Renault reportedly was poised to scale back its involvement for the 2011 season in F1 to become only its engine supplier, and it was a success with Red Bull winning 4 drivers and constructors titles in a row.